Cost of living pressures are reportedly also having a negative effect on Australia's personal lives. As well as mortgage stress and increasing energy bills, economic pressure is now seeping into our bedrooms. Buy now, pay later provider Afterpay has conducted a survey which showed that the cost of living is now impacting more than 41% of Australians' intimate relationships. The results almost show that almost 1 in 5 Aussies, or 17% of us, have noted, and I quote, a decline in their frequency of sex due to the current economic climate. You know, that's on top of the leaked data, which is also on the front of the Australian tomorrow, from Coles, which shows that customers are cutting back on weekly essentials like kitchen cleaners, body wash, sponges, wipes and bathroom disinfectants, just to cope with spiralling bills amid rising inflation and interest rates. The incoming Governor of the Reserve Bank, Michelle Bullock, and her soon-to-be predecessor, Philip Lowe, are on a unity ticket about how unemployment will help curb inflation. Finance Minister Katie Gallagher was asked about the impacts of that pipe dream tonight.
Let me just ask you this. Are you preparing to support those tens of thousands of Australians who would lose their jobs under that scenario?
Well, through the budget, of course, there are a range of payments available if people are on the, unemployed or lose their jobs, and that naturally kicks in. It's an automatic stabiliser in the budget, like that will occur.
It was an interesting question, which leads us to the front page of Melbourne's Age tomorrow, where the headline reads, millions on the brink as rising costs hit home. Half of Australians say they would struggle to pay an unexpected bill, with warnings that voters are now struggling to deal with a perfect financial storm caused by soaring interest rates, power bills and grocery bills. Oliver Peterson, no one is better placed than you. You have got your ear to the ground when it comes to hearing direct feedback from the public and your listeners on 882 6PR there in Perth. Cost of living, is it as big as a shock to people that we think it is, or is this the media class blowing it out of proportion?
No, it's as big as a shock as we all think it is, Jenna, absolutely. And look at all the data, look at all the indications. It was Commonwealth Bank last week that's got the data of 30% of the Australian debit and credit card holders who are saying that they're cutting back on their incidentals. So, look, all the data's pointing in the same direction, isn't it, regardless of whose surveys we decide to take further examples from. I think what this shows, though, Jenna, is just the fact that the government needs to start talking more about the cost of living pressures. And there's a little grenade, obviously, that Philip Lowe has just lobbed across the bow as a parting shot, saying, hey, mate, I just look after monetary policy. You've got the fiscal policy. There's a few more levers that you can pull. And I think it ties into what Caro was saying before around the referendum to the Voice. I mean, one, get on with it. Two, give us a date and get on with the business of running the country to the government. And right now, if Australians are nervous about getting a shock bill, oh, goodness, I forgot to pay my local council rates. Oh, I thought the electricity bill wasn't due till next month. Well, that's going to really impact what people can spend in regards to putting meals on the table and, just having a few extra bucks to be able to buy their sons or daughters a new pair of socks or a new shirt so that they can go to school and feel happy about themselves, Jenna. This is some real stuff that I just think the government's taking their eye off at the moment, and they really need to quickly, Jim Chalmers, stop writing essays, stop going overseas, start being the treasurer, and the same probably goes for the PM at the moment. Start talking about this stuff, how it affects everyday Australians.
Yeah, do the things that you can control.